Hello everyone, thanks for joining us today at Snow Globe Rescue. I'm Tony, and as usual with me is Allie.
Hello.
And if you're new to the channel, thanks for stopping by.
Welcome.
Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and like, and hopefully you'll stick around with us and watch some of our other videos. There'll be some links at the end of this video. So today we are talking about these plastic precious moments globes. And those of you who've been following the channel know that we don't buy the plastic snow globes because the plastic snow globes are very difficult and in some cases impossible to fix without damaging the globe in some way.
Right.
And now if someone gives us a plastic snow globe, we'd happily take it, you know, and but if there's something wrong with the globe, usually there's sometimes you can fix it and sometimes you can't. It depends on the globe. But these precious moment globes have always been like, we've never been able to fix them before. And we ended up with several of them that came into our possession through either someone gave them to us or there was a box full of globes that we bought, old globes, and they were in the bottom there. So we ended up with several of these. And we tried opening them by, you know, heating up the bottom here where the globe attaches to and you can see the bottom, there's no opening or anything. And I'll discuss this in a minute, but there's something here that you may not realize. But heating this up, this has probably been assembled with epoxy or super glue, and it's just, there's no way to take this thing apart without damaging it or cutting it open. So we decided we had several of these that were missing half the water, like this one or worse. And we said, well, we can't fix them, and they're missing a bunch of water, so we're just going to throw them away. Can't do anything with them. So I decided to take a look and see how these things are constructed, and maybe that'll help me out. Well, let me show you here. We have several that looked just like that, and now they don't look that way anymore. They've got some water in them. See, look at that. So what we're going to do today is we're going to show you what we did, which is one possible solution if you have one of these plastic snow globes from Precious Moments.
I mean, and you know, if you look at, that's a huge difference from the big bubble to the little bubble.
Yeah, it was these were like these were like had half the water. Now they just got this one air bubble in there. So we're going to show you how we did that. So stick around. All right. So first of all, we're going to show you here, and as I pointed out, some of the plastic snow globes that you might come across might have like a little fill hole that has a plastic plug that's been glued in place. And we have a video or two where we've shown how to refill those. You can, you know, remove the plug or drill through the plug, but this doesn't have that. And so what I did, like I said, we had several of these that were like this. I went ahead and took my Dremel tool and I opened one up. I took and I cut the dome off of the base, as you see right here. And when I did that, I noticed, so this is a flat plastic kind of a platform that the figurine is on. I guess that's actually considered part of the figurine. But I pried this off the base, and what I discovered is this is how it's constructed. These figurines are mounted, they're glued down to this base on these four spots here. And there is a space between the base and the bottom of the figurine here. And if you notice right in the center there, there's a hole. This is the fill hole. So when they put this all together, they filled the water globe through here, and then placed this cover on it. And the thing is, if you look over here, it might be able to tell on this one. Some of them you can't tell, like this one right here, you can't tell. But this piece, I heated it up with a hair dryer, and it actually, I had to actually pry it off, but you can see in order to get this cover off, it damaged the base here. But that pops off, and this is the plug right here that plugs up the hole where they filled it. Now, you can go through the effort of getting this cover off, if possible, without damage. I don't think you can do it without damaging it. But you could possibly drill through the center here and drill a hole in there and hopefully seal it up. But the thing is, this hole will be under this cover. So that wasn't really a good choice. And plus the cover here that has the information on precious moments, you'd be drilling a hole right through that. So if you can possibly get this cover off without damaging it, then this is a good place to do it. But what we did is something different. As you can see right here, I created a hole in the base to fill it up with because, as I mentioned, there is a space between the figurine and the base. And I drilled a hole into that space and I was able to fill it up. So I'm going to show you how that works.
And can I just point out?
Sure.
We were gonna she's throwing a plate at him, and I know we mentioned this in the other video, but now that we have like the water in it, she's throwing a plate, and these are like broken pieces of plates. Yeah. I just think that's hilarious for one. And see that little plate floating around?
This is part of a series where they were dating and then they got married and then they were doing things, and then here's one where they're like having some kind of an argument and she's throwing plates at him and he's kind of shielding himself. So she's upset at him for some reason. So this one was going to go in the garbage because it's missing half the water, but now Allie's going to keep it.
Yeah, now I'm going to keep it.
Right.
Because it's like those are broken pieces of plates. I find it hilarious.
Yeah, instead of snow, it's broken plates. Okay, so what we're going to do is right here on the side of the base here. Allie, if you could hold that, please.
Sure.
Now I have a Dremel tool, but if you don't have one of these, if you have a drill, you can use a drill as well. I picked a drill bit that is just slightly larger than the syringe needle here. So I'm going to drill a hole no bigger than necessary to get that syringe in there. So let's go ahead and get that hole. Oh, and when I drill this hole, I'm going to drill as soon as the drill bit gets through this first layer of plastic. I'm going to immediately stop because that'll put me in the space between the figurine and the base, and I don't want to go through that figurine platform. So hold on, okay, and let's go ahead and get this hole drilled. Okay, so right there you saw as the drill bit dropped, that was the first layer, and I stopped at the second layer. So now I'm going to take my syringe here. We're going to get this hole up as high as possible, and you'll see that air bubble starting to disappear. Mm-hmm. You know what? This is going to be a 2 syringe. Yeah. So I'm going to have to get some more water. So bear with me. Okay, I have a second syringe full of water here. Gonna get it back inside and just keep filling it up until we get it as much of that. We won't be able to get the entire air bubble out due to the way it's constructed, but we're gonna get most of it out. And see, there's water already starting to come out, but the air bubble hasn't quite disappeared. So I'm gonna tap it so all that water gets out and the air bubble comes up, and then let's see, we might get this. Wow. A second syringe full of water. Let's see. I don't see anything coming out yet. There we go. Okay. All right. It is full. So let's see what we got. I'm going to hold my finger over this hole, and hey, look at that. And this one must be full of glycerin because when I first it got real cloudy when I first put the water in there, and then when I shook it up, it mixed together. But yeah, look, there's a small amount of air in there. So, all right. So the next step is we're going to dry this off. So if you can give me some of that tissue paper, we'll dry this off. Okay, so now we're going to dry this area off around that hole. All right, now Allie, if you could hold that, please. What I did is I took a lid to a can of, I think it was a can of peanuts. It's a lid, or this might have been the Crystal Light can. I can't remember. It was a plastic lid to a can, and I took the lid to the Sharpie here, and I traced several circles on this plastic, and then cut the circle, as you can see right there. Cut the circle out of the plastic here. So what I'm going to do is we're going to take some of our, you can use super glue or Zap-A-Gap, whatever, and I'm going to put a drop or two around that hole, and then I'm going to spread that glue around the hole, get it right up to the hole, and then a little bit out away from it, like that. And then I'm going to drop this little plastic disc right on top of it there. There we go. And now we're going to hold that down until the glue dries, and that should be right there. And then that'll seal the hole up, and then you know what? When this glue dries, we'll come back and take a look at it. All right, we'll be back in a minute.
Okay.
All right, so take a look. That thing was...
This one came out really good. Very tiny bubble.
Yeah, so you know what? We're going to talk about this one in just a second, but we have a bonus globe to throw at you. You ready? All right, hold on a second. We're gonna take this one away. We're gonna swap it out. Boom. It's so what's funny about this?
I had to.
This is one of the few plastic snow globes that Allie decided to keep because it's from the movie Elf.
I love Will Ferrell.
Yeah, it's Will Ferrell as Buddy the Elf. It says on it, "Son of a Nutcracker." I guess that was one of the lines in the movie, right? But so this was missing a whole bunch of water.
Yeah.
Had a big air bubble about maybe this far down. And while I was working on this Precious Moments globe, and we were setting up this shot right here, Allie was like, "Hey, how about that Elf snow globe? I wonder if we can do that." And sure enough, this snow globe had a cover on the bottom right there, and I was able to pop that cover off. And I don't know if you can see right there, there's the fill hole right there for the globe. Now it was plugged with a hard, it's like they I don't know if they put epoxy in there or like a hard plastic plug that was glued in, but we had to actually drill. We had to actually drill through there, and we were able to take the syringe and fill it up, and we got almost, I mean, the bubble is small, especially compared to what it was before.
It's 3 times smaller than what it was.
Now, one thing that might happen, and it happened on this one, but you can't really tell, is a piece of plastic from the filler hole.
Yeah.
Just a small piece, the drill, kind of as it's drilling through the hole, a small piece ended up in there, but you really can't tell. It's hard to see. There it is right there, but it kind of...
I found it, but I was like, nah,
yeah, it kind of hides back there. So we're just going to go ahead and pop that cover back on. And, oh yeah, we super glued that another little piece of that plastic lid to the cover there. And
we used the
Zap-A-Gap.
Zap-A-Gap.
Right, and we glued that piece of plastic to the hole there to cover it, and it's not leaking. So this is going to work, and we'll just put this cover back on. And so some of these plastic snow globes can be repaired if you're willing to you know, drill a hole in the bottom of it and you know, maybe risk a little bit of damage. But this one you can't really tell because it's all covered up. So but here on this Precious Moments one, as you saw, we drilled the hole right there. But to be honest with you, if you didn't know any better, that might look like a fill hole that's been covered with a cover to seal it up. And we did not destroy this centerpiece here where the information is. So this actually, if you have some of these that are missing water and you're thinking about throwing them away, here's an option to keep you from throwing them out. So there you go. This one actually worked out really well because I got so much of the air. I almost got the entire air bubble out on this one. But it's just a matter of holding it in the right position and getting that hole at the top there so that all the air, you know, goes up to that hole. Let's see, we got the flower confetti in there.
Petals, yeah.
And like I said, I believe this had glycerin in it because when we first put the water in and shook it up, it got cloudy, and then as we kept shaking it, it cleared up. But so we saved 5 or 6 of these plastic Precious Moments globes. So now you know, now we know what to do when we see these, and some other plastic globes we'll check out to see what we can do with those. So there you go, Precious Moments snow globe refill and bonus globe of the elf.
Nutcracker.
All right, so hopefully you guys learned something, and if you have one of these Precious Moments snow globes, or even one of these types of snow globes, you know how to fill those up now. So thanks for joining us, and hopefully we'll see you in the next video. Until then, everyone, be safe,
Thank you so much for your time.
take care, and we'll see you then.
Bye.
Bye.